section, and today we'll be focusing on 2025 JAMB Chemistry Day 1 questions and answers. So these are the questions that were dropped today in my platform for JAMBites who just finished writing their exams. You know, some people wrote in the morning. The exam started today by 7 a.m. So a lot of people have written their exams and the questions is already out. So this is a question for people that wrote earlier in the morning, and this is also our episode of making JAMB Chemistry word simplified. So I believe we are really going to enjoy this section, and if you love this live stream, please don't forget to hit on the red subscribe button, share these videos to your friends so that they can come here and get value. So just like I am saying, today we'll be focusing on 2025 JAMB Chemistry Day 1 questions. These are questions, I have them here. They have already written exams. Those people that wrote the exam in the morning, this is their question. I have access to, let me check, I have access to 30 of their JAMB Chemistry questions for Day 1 students, which is today. So that's why I'm making the video. This is a review of real-time question. So the number one question we have here is, pollution of water by crude oil can lead to. Pollution of water by crude oil can lead to A. We say what? A. Decrease in carbon 4 oxide content. Decrease in carbon 4 oxide. Decrease in carbon 4 oxide content. Decrease in carbon 4 oxide content. B. Increase in oxygen content and increase in oxygen content. So let me up here. Increase in oxygen content. Increase in oxygen content. C. A decrease in oxygen content. C. Decrease in oxygen content. And D. An increase in growth of aquatic organisms. An increase in growth of aquatic organisms. So this is the first question that was dropped. The number one question that is being dropped. The question is, a pollution of water by crude oil can lead to, when water is being polluted by crude oil, it can lead to A. Decrease in carbon 4 oxide content. B. Increase in oxygen content. C. A decrease in oxygen content. And what? D. An increase in what? Growth of what? Aquatic organisms. First of all, just like I used to tell people, if you want to be very fast in your exam, increase in aquatic organisms. When water is being polluted by what? Crude oil. That water first is not what fit to what drink. You cannot drink that water. And water that you cannot drink, aquatic, that is aquatic organisms cannot also stay there, right? So this particular option is what? Wrong. Option D is what? Wrong. Then you say what? A increase in what? Aquatic, you say what? Decrease in what? Carbon 4 oxide what? Content. Now when water is being polluted by what? Crude, right? Which is what? Petroleum, right? It's a petroleum, right? Is a product of what? Carbon. So you cannot say what? There's a what? There's a decrease in what? Carbon, there's a decrease in what? Carbon 4 what? Oxide what? Content. Because when the water is being polluted by what? Carbon. So there's what? An increase in what? Carbon 4 oxide what? Content. So this question is what? Wrong. This option is what? Wrong. B. Increase in oxygen what? Content. When water is being what? Polluted by what? Carbon, which is what? Carbon 4 oxide, right? Or by petroleum or by crude, right? You cannot say there's an increase in what? Oxygen what? Content. You cannot say there's an increase in oxygen content, because if there's an increase in oxygen content, that means aquatic organisms will be able to what? Survive in that what? Water. So this what is what? Wrong. And we are left with what? Only what? C, which is what? A decrease in what? Oxygen what? Content. When water is being polluted by what? Crude, or by what? Petroleum, or by what? Carbon what? Content. There's what? A decrease in what? Oxygen what? Content. So the correct answer here is what? C. Congratulations to whosoever had it, whosoever put what? C in the word option. So let's move on to the next word question. The next question is, when few drops of barium chloride, when few drops when few drops of barium chloride, when few drop of barium chloride is added to an unknown sample, when few drops of barium chloride is added to an unknown sample, acidified, when few drops of barium chloride is added to an unknown sample, acidified with what? Hydrochloric acid sample, acidified with HCl. Let me just put HCl. Acidified with HCl. It's acidified with what? HCl. A white precipitate, that a white PPP, that is a white precipitate, insoluble in excess of the acid. Insoluble in excess, right? In excess of the what? Acid. In excess of the what? Acid. In excess of the what? Acid was obtained. The likely anion of the sample is the likely anion of the sample is. So the question is, when few drops of barium chloride is added to an unknown sample acidified with what? Hydrochloric what? Acid, a white precipitate insoluble in excess of the acid was what? Obtained. The likely what? Anion. Emphasis on what? Anion. So the likely anion of the sample that was what? Obtained is A. They say what? Sulfate ion. Sulfate what? Ion. B. Chlorine ion. C. Sulfur. And D. CO what? 2 what? Minus. Is it minus? Yes, alright. So this is the question. When few drops of what? Barium chloride is added to what? An unknown sample acidified with what? HCl. A white precipitate is insoluble in excess of the acid was what? Obtained. Yes, Raphael James, this is today's JAMB question. I have a WhatsApp group. If you are looking for updated question, I have a WhatsApp group that I believe in the evening also I will also get questions, because I have a WhatsApp group that questions are being dropped. If you need my WhatsApp number, this is my WhatsApp number. Let me just attend to this question before I continue. This is my WhatsApp number. I don't know whether you can see it. 07062462746. I already have physics questions ready. I have physics JAMB questions. I've had today, 2025, Thursday is concerned. I have physics questions. I have chemistry questions. I'm waiting for biology. That's why I have not treated or I have not said anything concerning biology. I'm waiting for biology to drop. I have also for English language. Yes, I have questions for English language and physics and chemistry, waiting for biology to drop so that I can just flow alongside with them. So if you have any questions, you can drop it. So let's answer this particular one that is here. I don't know whether I can see my WhatsApp number. So you can get my WhatsApp number. Yes, this live stream is being recorded. You can watch this live stream later. So let's answer these questions now. That's question 2. It says when few drops of what? Barium what? When few drops of barium chloride is added to an unknown sample, acidified with what? HCl. A white precipitate insoluble in excess of the acid was what? Obtained. The likely what? Anion is what? The likely anion of the sample is. Now, two things were said here. He said what? A white what? Precipitate. Now, this white precipitate is what? Insoluble in the excess of this what? Hydrochloric what? Acid. You understand? Insoluble in the excess of this what? Hydrochloric acid. And the likely what? Anion of the sample that was obtained is what? The answer is what? A. The answer is what? A. That is what? Sulfate. Now the explanation that I have here from my teacher, from my breakdown, it says barium chloride forms a white precipitate. Barium chloride, it says what? Barium right, forms a white precipitate of what? barium what? Sulfate. Barium chloride forms a white precipitate of what? Barium what? Sulfate with what? Sulfate anions. Let me write it. The answer is what? A. It says barium chloride forms a white what? PPT. Barium chloride forms a white PPT of what? Barium what? Sulfate. Of what? Barium what? Sulfate with sulfate what? Ions. With what? Sulfate what? Ions. With sulfate what? Ions, which is insoluble in acid. Which is what? Insoluble in what? Acid. So this is the what? Correct what? Answer. The correct answer for this particular one is what? A. It says the likely anion of the sample is what? This what? Sulfate. Because barium chloride forms what? White precipitate of what? Barium what? Sulfate, what? Sulfate ions, which is what? Insoluble in what? Acid. That is to tell us that sulfate ions is what? Insoluble in what? Acid. Let's move on to the next question. I have the questions that I have here is likely 35 questions, but I believe it was up to 40, so I'm still waiting for them to drop me more questions, which I will go live later. It says, the next question, oxygen in air can be removed. Oxygen in air can be removed. Yes, I am recording. Oxygen in air can be removed using oxygen in air can be removed using oxygen in air can be removed using A. Lime water. B. Caustic soda solution. B. Caustic soda solution. C. Pyrogalol solution. C. Pyrogalol solution. And D. Slave what? Lime. And D what? Slave what? Lime. So that is the question. It says, this is question 3. It says, oxygen in air can be removed using A. Lime water. B. Caustic soda solution. C. Pyrogalol what? Solution. And what? D what? Slave what? Lime. The answer that is given is what? C. The correct answer is what? C, which is oxygen can be removed in air using what? The Pyrogalol what? Solution. And the option here can be explained by saying that the Pyrogalol what? Solution, can we possibly see the same questions? You know, JAMB set a lot of questions. JAMB have teachers, or should I say people that set questions for them. So you know, these people are all different people setting the questions. So but the possibility that you have the same questions, don't see it as that cheap. But you know that when you enter the exam, you know it's not easy like that. Okay, so for those writing tomorrow, is it possible to see the same questions? Now you have to note that JAMB, for any exam you are writing for a particular day, you understand, this question here can be the same question they are answering, but what is going to happen there is that the question have what? Paper or type. So my number 1 here can be another person number 10. Then that person number 10 can be my number 50 or number 20. Or, you understand what I mean? So I don't know whether there's a possibility of seeing this, but it is important that you learn it, because they say a stitch in time will always what? Save what? 9. So that is why I am bringing it this. So if you need my WhatsApp number is up there. Chat me up on WhatsApp. You'll get questions for physics, you'll get questions for chemistry, and likely in the evening when I get questions for biology, you will also what? Get it. See my WhatsApp number up there. Chat me up. So the question there is, oxygen in air can be removed using A. Lime water. B. Caustic soda solution. C. The Pyrogalol what? Solution. And D what? Slave what? Lime. The correct answer there is what? C. Pyrogalol what? Solution. The Pyrogalol what? Solution is one that what? Absorbs what? Oxygen. The Pyrogalol what? Solution absorbs what? Oxygen. And when it absorbs oxygen efficiently in what? An alkaline what? Solution. The Pyrogalol solution absorbs oxygen efficiently in what? The alkaline what? Solution. So the correct answer there is the word Pyrogalol what? Solution, because it absorbs what? Oxygen. So among all these, it is the only correct option that can what? Remove oxygen from what? Air. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question. The next question. The next question. That is question number what? 4. Question number 4. Question number 4. Which of the following dry agents is not stable for drying hydrogen what? Sulfide. Which of the following drying agent or dry agent? Let's move on fast. They are solving itself. There are things that we will solve, although we'll get to them. You understand? This one is to make us feel comfortable along the line. That is when you start seeing the solvings. I already have the questions here. It says, which of the following dry agents? 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 Which of the following dry agents is not suitable for drying? Which of the following dry agents is not suitable for drying? Which of the dry agents is not suitable for drying hydrogen sulfide? It's not suitable for drying hydrogen what? Sulfide. So this is the question. Say, which of the following dry agents is not suitable for drying hydrogen sulfide? We have here A, carbon dioxide. We have B, phosphorus oxide. What do I have here? Okay, B, what do I have here? Okay, B for O10, C. I hope you can see the board. This matter is so fast. And we have D, H2SO4. That is our what? Sulfate. So the question is there is that which of the following dry agent is not suitable for what? Drying what? Hydrogen what? Sulfide. If we check it there, the answer is already on the board. The answer is already on the board. Look at what the only option there that has what? The sulfide. Check the only option there that has the word sulfide. Which of the following dry agents is not suitable for drying what? Hydrogen what? Sulfide. Now look at this. Look at this option. That is how we answer JAMB questions sincerely. That was how I did, you not be able to understand every concept when it comes to this topic or when it comes to this subject. So how we answer these stuff is by using what? Common word sense. By looking at this particular word questions. By looking at this word particular word questions. Which of them has what? Sulfate. Which of them has what? Sulfate. I remember there was a time I just say here that sulfate is what? Insoluble, right? I just say that sulfate is what? Insoluble. And right now we are talking about what? Drying, right? So now look at the question. Which of the following dry agents is not suitable for drying what? Hydrogen what? Sulfide. So which of these do you think will not be suitable for drying what? Hydrogen what? Sulfide. The answer is what? D. Which is what? Hydrogen what? Sulfate. Which is what? The hydrogen what? Sulfate. Okay. If you are following up, please just drop your comment in the comment section so that I know you are following up. So the correct answer there is the word hydrogen what? Sulfate, which is the word D. And how is it what? D? It says the hydrogen sulfate react with what? H2S forming what? A new what? Substance. Hence what? Not what? Suitable. So this is the hydrogen what? Sulfate. The hydrogen what? Sulfate will react with what? Hydrogen what? Sulfide. Hydrogen sulfate will always react with what? Hydrogen what? Sulfide. And the moment they react with what? Hydrogen what? Sulfide, they will always form what? A new substance. Hence, it is not what? Hence, this hydrogen what? Sulfide is not what? A good or recommended drying agent suitable for what? Drying this what? Hydrogen what? Sulfide. So the correct answer there is what? D. Let's move on to the next question that we have here. Let's move on to the next question that we have here. I just pray they should drop my biology question. The moment I finish this live, I just believe that I should go. Is it possible to see this question? Yes, it's possible. It's possible to see the questions. Look at my WhatsApp number here. This is my WhatsApp number. I said we have a group where I drop these questions. And for right now, I have for chemistry, I have for physics, and I have for English. No biology for now. This is my WhatsApp number, 070-6246-2746. So that is just it. Feel free to chat me up on WhatsApp and I will add you to the group, and from the group you'll be getting what first-hand what updates or first-hand what access to these questions. The moment they drop it, you will get it. So let's push on to the next question that is there. The next question says, diamond is used in making jewelries due to its age. Diamond is used in making jewelries. Diamond is used in making jewelries. Diamond is used in making of jewelries due to its A. High refractive index. High refractive index. B. Transparency. C. Hardness. And D. High melting point. So the question is, diamond is used in making of jewelries. Diamond is used in making of jewelries due to its A. High refractive index. B. The transparency. Is it the transparency of diamond that makes it suitable for what use in making of jewelries? C. Is it the hardness? It's not. See, just remove this hardness. The hardness of diamond is not even the major reason of choosing it to be what a jewelries, right? The hardness of diamond makes it to be used as what an abrasive, used to be what used as a cutter. You know. So remove this one. This is how we answer these questions. Now, some of these questions, you understand? One, I've said some of these questions use our common word sense. Your common sense will enable you to answer some of these questions. And this one now, remove those ones that are not even related to the word option, like high melting point. How will the high melting point of diamond makes it a good use of jewelry? So remove this high melting point. Hardness. How will the hardness of diamond makes it a good use of jewelry? So if you want to check, we are left with what high refractive index and what B, which is what transparency. But the correct answer there is what A. The correct answer here is what A. Diamond is used in making jewelries due to its what high what refractive what index. How is it used? Because of what a high what refractive what index. The sparkling nature. When you see diamond what shining, right? The sparkling nature of what diamond is being what let's say is being made possible due to its what high what refractive what index, and not because of its what transparency. Transparency means the ability for me to see outside of this one, like look at this one and see outside or see what is happening inside. But that is not what we are asking. It's not because of what the transparency of what diamond. What we are looking for is what the high refractive index, which is part of the sparkling nature. The sparkling nature. It is because diamond is what sparkling. That is why we use it as what jewelries. So let's move on to the next question without wasting much time. The next question there is the presence of impurities in a solid will make the melting point to the presence of impurities in a solid. When there's a presence of impurities in a solid, what will happen to the melting point? So let me clean this sharp. Let me clean this sharp. So the presence of impurities in a solid. So say the presence of impurities. If you need this question, I'm saying it, chat me up on WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number. I'm not cleaning it. Chat me up on WhatsApp and you get access to these questions. There's question for, okay, sir, I'm having exams on Saturday. Is it possible to see the same questions? I don't actually know. Just like I've explained, JAMB sets different questions. So the presence of impurities. It's possible that you can see the same question, or it's possible, but the possibility, everything is like 50-50. It's possible that you can see the same question. It's possible that you might not see the same question, but at the end of the day, keep preparing. If you're writing on Saturday, you still have today, you still have tomorrow, which is Friday, to at least do something. So it says the presence of impurities in a solid will make the melting point to. The presence of impurities in a solid, the presence of impurities in a solid will make the melting point. We make the melting point to A. We make the melting point to A increase. When there's presence of impurities in a solid, we didn't make the melting point to increase. A increase. B. Okay. Sorry. A, they say decrease. A decrease. A decrease. B increase. C remain unchanged. and D be 0. Be what? 0. So the question there is the presence of impurities in a solid, what will happen to what? The melting what? Point. You say A will make the what? Melting point to what? Decrease. B make the melting point to what? Increase. C make the melting point what? To remain what? Unchanged. And D will make the what? Melting point becomes what? 0. So what do you think is the correct answer there? What do you think will be the correct answer? Can you drop it in the comment section? If you're actually following, can you drop it in the comment section? So, but let me just answer it now. The presence of impurities in a solid will cause the melting point to what? Thank you, sir. So also doing for physics and math. I don't have questions for maths right now. I don't have questions for mathematics right now, but I have questions for physics. I've not gone online to check my WhatsApp group. I just got these questions and prepare myself for this chemistry class. So for physics, I will see if you need this particular physics question. I don't know whether I will still be able to go live, which I pray I will. So chat me up on WhatsApp 070624624746 and you get the questions for those subjects. I believe they will also draw for what? Mathematics. So the presence of impurities will cause the solid to what? Will cause in the solid will make the melting point to what? Decrease. The presence of what? Impurities in a solid will make the what? Melting point to what? Decrease. Now, what is the explanation towards what? This. Now, impurities in a solid will disrupt the what? The lattice. Thank you. Anegbe Prudence, you are what? Correct. Anegbe Prudence, you are following up. Someone just dropped the answer. I just pray that God will perfect you. God will give you the divine will for you to smash your JAMB UTME, to score up to 300 plus and get admission to study your dream course in the university. So the correct answer here is what? A, which is what? The presence of impurities in a solid will make the what? Melting point to what? Decrease, because impurities disrupts the what? The lattice. The impurities disturb the what? Lattice what? Energy, thereby lowering the what? Melting what? Point. No. Raphael James. The answer is what? A. I just gave the explanation right now. I said the impurities will disrupt the what? The lattice what? Energy, thereby lowering the melting point. So the correct option there is what? A, by Anegbe Prudence. So that is what? Correct, by Anegbe Prudence. So let me move on to the next question. The discovery that protons and neutrons, who discovered, or the discovery from the question, let me read it from the question. The discovery that protons and neutrons are concentrated at the nucleus of an atom was postulated by. Let's write. So it says the discovery that protons and neutrons, the discovery that protons and neutrons are concentrated at the nucleus. Are concentrated. Let me just use this. Are concentrated at the nucleus. Are concentrated at the nucleus of an atom. At the nucleus of an atom was postulated by who? Was postulated by A. Ernest Rutherford. That is what? E. Rutherford. Ernest Rutherford. B. J. Dalton. This is for John Dalton. B. J. Dalton. C. J. Thomson. C. J. Thomson. And D. Niels Bohr. That is Niels Bohr. So, who discovered that protons and neutrons are concentrated at the nucleus of an atom? This discovery was postulated by which of these scientists? This earlier or ancient scientists, the 1800 scientists. We have here A. Ernest Rutherford, B. John Dalton, C. J. Thomson, and D. Niels Bohr. So the correct answer there, the discovery of protons The discovery of what? Protons and what? Neutrons at the nucleus was done by what? A scientist known as Faith Ugu. Faith Ugu is not J.J. Thomson. It's not J.J. Thomson. The discovery that protons and neutrons are concentrated at the nucleus. Is not what J.J. Thomson. Quantum. The answer is not C. The answer is not D. Ayomide. The answer is not D. The answer is not D. The answer is just there. It's not J.J. Thomson. See, look at this. Protons and neutrons are concentrated at the nucleus. It is not what J.J. what Thomson. It is not what Niels Bohr. Now choose from the remaining one that is there. Let me see. Is what A? Is what A? No, Sam's. Yes. Rafiu Adenuga is correct. Ernest Rutherford, Samsudin Mufud Tuadin. It is not John Dalton's. It is not what John Dalton's. The correct answer is what A. So Quantum and Faith Ugu, you have it what correct. But the first person that had it correct was what? Rafiu what had it what correct. The correct answer there is what? Ernest what? Rutherford. Ernest Rutherford was the one that discovered. Ernest Rutherford. The correct answer there is what? A. Ernest Rutherford. Ernest Rutherford was the one that is the scientist that discovered that protons and neutrons are concentrated at the what? Nucleus of an atom. Now, how he was able to get this? He was able to deduce this through his what? Rutherford what? Gold foil what? Experiment. Through his what? Gold foil what? Experiment. Through his gold foil what? Experiment. So Rutherford was the one that discovered that protons and neutrons are concentrated at the nucleus of what? An atom. Through this particular what? Experiment known as what? The gold foil what? Experiment. Please, I know this is not related, but let me say, take note of the different experiments they were doing. I have been dropping it in my videos, in some of my subsequent videos that I have been dropping, even in chemistry, possible questions, and some of the live stream I did yesterday. I dropped it, especially the charge of an electron. Who discovered the charge of an electron? Please know it too. And which experiment was he doing? Know that the charge of an electron was discovered by a scientist known as the Millikan, and he discovered it when he was undergoing the Millikan oil drop experiment. Please take note of this. Their scientists and the experiment they were doing before they were able to get this different postulations. It is very, very important to do it or get it. Blazer, thank you. You are welcome. Blazer, you are welcome to the live stream. Blazer, you are welcome to the live stream. Thank you. I appreciate you too. The next question: which of the following is hygroscopic substance? Let me clean this. So I hope you have taken note of that particular question and the answer. Please take note. No one knows whether this question is going to repeat. The chances of this question repeating is 50. The chances of this question not repeating is 50. But what if the 50 now favors you and you now enter the exam? The same thing you are doing is what you are seeing. Imagine how it's going to be. So it's important that you take note of this and don't just watch this live stream for watching sake. Please be jotting them down. And try to go through it. The next question says, which of the following is hygroscopic substance? So let me just clean this. Which of the following is hygroscopic? Is what? Is hygroscopic what? Substance. Which of the following is what? Hygroscopic what? Substance. Now, before hygroscopic what? Substance, before I continue, this concept of what? Hygroscopic is supposed to chip in something to your mind. It's supposed to chip in something to your mind that this question is being derived from the concept of the acid, the base, and the source. And this hygroscopic is being gotten from desiccant. That is, a desiccant is what? The addition of what? Is what? The deliquescent and the hygroscopic. The deliquescent substances plus what? The hygroscopic will give you what? Desiccant equals to what? Desiccant. Now what you are supposed to ask yourself is that what is this word desiccant, or what is this word hygroscopic, or what is this word deliquescent. These are all what drying what agents. These are all what drying what agents. So now the question, the moment you understand that they are drying agents, is going to be very what easy for you to what answer. The what they are asking you now, which of the following is a drying what agent, or is what a drying what substance? A. We have here A. NO3. Let me see. All right. B. Magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride. C. Iron chloride. And D. Calcium what? Chloride. So the question there is, which of the following is what a hygroscopic what? Someone is saying something that I don't understand. Please, MD. Please, what don't you understand? Please, just let me know. Someone says he or she doesn't understand. Please, MD Sabe Hassan. This is chemistry. This is chemistry. This is chemistry. I can't see the last 2 digits in your number. Okay, I will write it for you. Please, MD Hassan, just follow up. What we are doing is 2025 JAMB Chemistry questions. They just dropped on our WhatsApp group. So this is for day 1. These are for people who are just finished writing their JAMB exam from 7 a.m. today. And as of the time, 1:30, I believe some people will be entering the exam hall by 2 o'clock. So subsequently, we also be expecting questions. But right now, we have a WhatsApp group we have chemistry questions has dropped, physics question have dropped, and English language has also dropped. We are waiting for biology. We are waiting for what? Biology. Okay, this is my WhatsApp number. Let me write it well. 07062462746. This is my WhatsApp 07062462746. That is my WhatsApp number. So let me see. All right. So someone already said D. We have Rafiu Adenuga. Adenuga said D. We have MD Sabe Hassan. So the question is, which of the following is what hygroscopic was substance? So we already have people saying what D. We already have people what saying what D. And how physical chemistry? Rafiu and MD Sabe Hassan. Thank you so much, MD Sabe Hassan. I'm from Bangladesh, so your lecture is very good. Thank you so much for your comment. So the correct answer is what D. The correct answer is what D. Rafiu is correct, and no, quantum, you are wrong. Quantum, you are wrong. The answer is not B. It's not magnesium what? Chloride. But Rafiu and MD Sabe already has you what? Correct. Now, how is it what? Calcium what? Chloride. Note that what? Calcium what? Chloride absorbs what? Moisture from the what? Atmosphere. The question is, which of the following is what? Hygroscopic what? Substance. So remember, I said something. I said we have the what? Deliquescent, and also said we have the what? Hygroscopic. Note, I said we have deliquescent. Let me just explain this concept. If you are looking for how you can be able to understand acid, base, and salts, I have dropped it. After this live stream, go and check my videos. You will see where I've dropped acid, base, and salt in the most simplified manner. So remember, I talked about deliquescent, and I also talked about this hygroscopic. I also talked about this hygroscopic. I also talked about this hygroscopic. And I said the both of them will give you what is known as what? Desiccant, right? And I said the both of them will give you what is known as what? Desiccant. And I say a desiccant is what? A drying what? Agent. And I say a desiccant can be what? A drying what? Agent. Now, the both of them are both what? Drying what? Agent. But there's a difference between a deliquescent and what? Hygroscopic. Please take note. There's a difference between what? Deliquescent and what? Hygroscopic. Now, deliquescent substances are substances that what? Absorbs what? Water. You understand? They absorb what? Water from the what? Atmosphere. Take note, they absorb what? Water from the what? Atmosphere. And when they absorb water from the atmosphere, deliquescent deliquescent absorbs what? H2O from the atmosphere, from the what? Atmosphere. And when they absorb this water from the atmosphere, what they do is that they form what? Solution. Deliquescent substances form what? Solution. Take note, the deliquescent substances form what? Solution. But when it comes to what? Hygroscopic, the hygroscopic also absorbs what? Moist. They also absorbs what? Water from the what? Atmosphere. This hygroscopic also, hygroscopy also what? Absorbs what? Water from the what? Atmosphere. But the difference between this hygroscopic and the deliquescent is that hygroscopic absorb water from the atmosphere, but instead of forming solution, what is going to happen is that they are going to be what? Moist or what? Sticky. They will say what? Moist. I'm really sorry. My data got finished. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me set it up. I'm sorry, my data got finished. MTN didn't even notify me. I don't know the way these people are behaving these days. So please, if you're on, please just drop in your comments. I can see some people on. Please just drop in your comments. I will know. Thank you so much for waiting. Thank you so much for waiting. I went off because of my data. I'm sorry. I am back. But just because my data got finished. So like I was saying, I was trying to explain this number 4, or the question that was there, that which of the following is what? A hygroscopic what? Substance. If you are just joining this live stream, this is JAMB 2025 Chemistry, the one question. This question has been dropped, and if you see my WhatsApp number 07062462746, you can chat me up on WhatsApp and I will send you these questions. We have JAMB Chemistry questions for 2025 day 1 for chemistry, we have for physics, and we have for use of English, although right now we don't have questions for biology. And someone just requested for mathematics, although I don't have questions here for maths, but I believe that it's going to be dropped in the group. So if you want to get access to these day 1 questions for your practice, especially if you are writing like on Saturday or next week, feel free to chat me up on WhatsApp. So like I was saying that which of the following is what? A what? Hygroscopic what? Substance. And I said the correct answer is what? D. Calcium what? Chloride. And I was trying to explain what is what? Hygroscopic what? Substance. And I said hygroscopic substance plus deliquescent substance gives you what is known as what? Desiccant. Desiccant are known as what? Drying what? Agent. Desiccants are known as what? Drying what? Agent. And I was trying to give you the difference between what? A desiccant and what? The difference between what? The deliquescent substance and what? Hygroscopic what? Substance. I said a deliquescent substance absorbs what? Water from the what? Atmosphere. They absorb water from the atmosphere, and when they absorb this water from the atmosphere, they tend to form what? Solution. They form what? Solution. But hygroscopic substances, when they absorb water from the atmosphere, they don't form what? Solution. Rather, what they do is they become what? Moist, or they become what? Sticky. So the question here is, which of the following is what? Hygroscopic what? Substance. The answer there is what? D. Calcium what? Chloride. It is calcium chloride because calcium chloride absorbs what? Moisture from the what? Calcium chloride absorbs what? Moisture from the what? Air. And when it absorbs what? Moisture from the air, it becomes what? An hygroscopic what? Substance. It becomes what? An hygroscopic what? Substance. So please, if you are following up the class, just drop in your comments. Is there any question? Just drop it. Just drop your comments in the comment section. So let's go on to the next question. Let's go on to the next question. We have questions. This is live day 1 chemistry question for JAMB 2025. This is real and legit. If you want it, I can give it to you. This is my WhatsApp number. My name is Basi Ejogba. If you are just knowing me for the first time, you are joining my live stream for the first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Basi Ejogba. I'm a 400 level student in the University of Calabar. I am studying medical laboratory science. So please just help me subscribe to my YouTube channel, share these videos to your friend so that they can come here and get value. So the next question here is, in a chemical reaction, when the energy of the colliding reactant particle is less than the what? Activation what? Energy. When the energy is less than what? Than the activation what? Energy. You already know what is what? Activation what? Energy. It is the what? Minimum amount of what? Energy before what? A reaction will take place. You understand? The minimum amount of energy required for a reaction will start what? Taking place. But now the question here is, in a chemical reaction, so let me write, in a chemical reaction, so I'm going to use short form for reaction. So I say in the chemical reaction, when the energy of the colliding reactant particle, when the energy of the colliding reactants, this is reactant, please. When the energy of the colliding reactant particle, when the reactor of the energy particles is less than the activation energy, is less than the activation energy, is less than the activation energy, the reaction will A, be spontaneous. Please bear with me. The network in our country is something that I don't even understand. It's telling me I don't have data after burning data just now to add burning money to buy data. So the question is, in a chemical reaction, when the energy of the colliding reacting particles or the reactant particles is less than the activation energy. When the energy of the reactant particles is less than the activation energy, the reaction will be A, be spontaneous, B, not occur, C, occur, and D, be slow. The answer is already there. A plus B. Let's say A plus B will give us C plus D. You see? So we say these are reactants, right? These are reactants, and these are products. This is a reactant and this is a product. Now, we say in a chemical reaction, when the energy of the colliding reactant particles is less than the activation energy. We already know what's activation energy. Activation energy is the minimum. It's not the maximum. It's just that small energy. So is the minimum amount of energy? Is the minimum amount of energy required for a reaction to take place. And now we are saying that what we are not saying is that the energy of the colliding reactant particle, you understand? The energy of this reactant particle is less than this minimum amount of energy. How about? So the reaction is not going to be spontaneous. The reaction will not occur. So B is correct. The reaction will not occur because you don't even have up to minimum amount. They are not saying maximum. They're just saying minimum amount of energy. So the reaction will not occur. B is correct. The reaction is not going to be spontaneous. The reaction will not occur. Neither will it be slow. The reaction automatically will not occur because they don't even have up to the activation energy. This is less than the activation energy. So the reaction will not occur. Let's move on to the next question. The monomer of natural rubber. Let's move on to the next question. If you need this question, chat me up on WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number. And I'm going to send it to you. We have questions for day one that has dropped for physics. We have questions for the one that has dropped for chemistry. We have questions for the one that have dropped for use of English. You see questions on Lekki Headmaster, it is there. Questions on Lekki Headmaster. You know me, I felt reluctant to read that Lekki Headmaster because of one, the online reviews I've been getting about that textbook. They say it's bulky and a lot of informations like names. It is true. It's there. You will see it. It's there. I'll send this question to you. Chat me up on WhatsApp. Just tell me that you are coming from the live stream. You are coming from the and you want to get these questions that has been dropped for today. So just chat me up on WhatsApp. So the question is the monomer of natural rubber. The monomer of natural rubber, let me put this, the monomer of natural rubber, the monomer of natural rubber is the monomer of what? Monomer, one. The monomer of natural rubber is A, 2-methyl, organic chemistry, 2-methyl buta, 2-methyl buta 1,3-diene, 2-methyl buta 1,3-diene. B, 1-butene, 3-ene. C, buta 1,3-diene, buta, yes, buta 1,3-diene. And D, 2-chlorobuta 1,3-diene. What do you think is the answer? Drop it in the comment section. What do you think is the answer? Drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. I am not seeing any comments. Drop it in the comment section. I'm not seeing any comment from anyone. So what do you think is the answer? The monomer of natural rubber is A, 2-methyl buta 1,3-diene, B, 1-butene 3-ene, C, buta 1,3-diene, and D, 2-chlorobuta 1,3-diene. What do you think is the answer? So just let me give you 30 seconds. I will be counting. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The answer is there on the board. Like, the answer is already there. The answer is already there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, na JAMB bite. Then I know for my hand. Oh, this one a question wey person answer today for hall. Oh. So just imagine yourself, you are the one inside the hall now, and you answer this question. Are you telling me you are going to not answer it? No, now you are going to try. So try. Trial is not you failing when you are trying, does not mean it is the end of the road. You understand? It means that you already know what you are doing and you have an idea. So the question here now, someone should try and answer it. I have people on the live stream, so just try and answer it. Try and answer it. Now, note that what we are talking about here is what? Polymerization. This question is based on polymerization. You understand? So, which of these compounds, let me just give you an expo. Which of these compounds will polymerize to give you natural rubber? Which of these compounds will polymerize to give you natural rubber? So, JAMB bite, maybe you are writing tomorrow Friday, maybe you are writing on Saturday. So just imagine yourself in the exam hall and you are seeing this question, because this is the question that someone answered in the exam hall. The monomer of natural rubber is. The answer is the answer polymerization. The answer there is A. The answer there is what? A. 2-methyl buta 1,3-diene. This is the answer. Nobody gave me the answer. Nobody gave me the answer. But this is question. These are the questions people answered in the exam hall. You understand? These are questions that people were answered in the exam hall. What this question is, what they're asking in this question is simply a concept in chemistry known as polymerization. So what they are just asking here is that which of these compounds will polymerize to give you what? Natural what? Rubber. That is the question. Which of these compounds will polymerize to give you what? Natural what? Rubber. And the answer there is what? A. 2-methyl buta 1,3 what? Diene. That is what the answer. The monomer of what? Natural what? Rubber is what? 2-methyl buta 1,3 what? Diene. It will polymerize to give you what? Natural what? Rubber. Please take note of this what point. Don't just watch this live stream. Make sure you watch this live stream with your what? Notebook. This is not fake questions. This is the question that was answered today, 2025 JAMB Chemistry Day 1. Possibly if I go online and I get questions for biology, you will get to see me come live here to give you JAMB Chemistry, JAMB Biology Day 1. So these questions are legit questions. That is why you don't see me, you have not seen me gone live for biology, because I value my JAMB bites, and I believe that by helping drop this stuff here, who knows, it's going to be a 50-50. The questions might repeat. That is why I am very careful even in my word answer. So the next question there is, the next question, what is the next question? Which of the following halogens is the most what reactive? Please, someone should answer this question. Someone should answer this question. Which of the following halogens is the most what reactive? Please, someone should answer it. Which of the following halogens is the what most what reactive? That is the next question. Though. Which of the following what halogens is the what most what reactive? Which of the following halogens is the what most reactive? Which of the following halogens? Which of the following halogens is is the most reactive? Is the most reactive? A. Chlorine. A. Chlorine. B. Iodine. C. Boron. Bromine. So A. Chlorine, B. Iodine, B. Bromine, and D. Ion. The answer is already on the board. The answer is already on the board. Which of the following halogens is the most reactive? A. Chlorine, B. Iodine, C. Bromine, and D. Ion. What do you think is the correct option? What do you think is the correct option? Please, someone should drop the answer. Someone should drop the answer. This shows that people are actually active for this word JAMB word exam. Someone should drop the answer. Which of these halogens is the most what reactive? Which of these halogens is the what most what reactive? Please, someone should drop it in the comment section. Someone should drop it in the comment word section. Someone should drop it in the comment section. The answer is already there. The answer, please take note, the most reactive halogens is option what D. The most reactive halogens is what option D, which is what ion. The most reactive halogens is option D. The most reactive halogens is what option what D. Note, how or why do we say the most reactive halogens is what option what D? This is because the reactivity of halogens, it is option D, correct? Why is it option what D? This is because the reactivity of what halogens decreases down the word group. This is what is known as trend. Periodic trend. Periodic what? Trend. Please take note of this. The periodic table is very, very what? Important. So the question here is, which of the following halogens is the most what? Reactive? A. Chlorine, B. Iodine, C. Bromine, and what? D. What? Ion. The answer is what? D, which is what? Ion. This is because the reactivity of what? Halogens decreases down the group. What do I have here? Sorry, I made a mistake with my option. This is not ion, it's fluorine. It's not ion, it is fluorine. Let me check my question again. I have to brighten up my phone light. Let me brighten up my phone light. Sorry, it's F2. That is fluorine. I'm so sorry. So the question there is, which of the following halogens is the what most what reactive? A. Chlorine, B. what? Iodine, C. Bromine, and D. what? Fluorine. Let me show you something. Have you heard about HF? Hydrogen fluoride. This is the most strongest word. Please take note to this one, although it's not particular for this particular word. What we are doing is what? Questions, right? Past questions. This is automatically past questions. So just have it in mind that you are the first group of people that is having 20-25 past questions and what answer. This is how they get past question and answer. What they do is this: they will take this first group take the next people that were right JAMB, take the next people that were right JAMB. What they do, some of these guys now, the one that you have access to, you know, it's the one that you have, like me now, I have access to day 1. I don't know whether we have access to day 2. I don't know whether my guys, they will be able to deliver questions for day 2. So the ones that I will have access to day 1, which is like this, this is the one they will compile and say 2025 chemistry JAMB questions. I hope you understand it. So this is how they get the past questions that you buy, or the past questions that you use and practice in your JAMB app, like My School, 330, Prep 50, and the what rest. So hydrogen fluoride, this is the most strongest hydrogen bond. The most strongest one, hydrogen bond. Hydrogen fluoride is the most strongest one, hydrogen bond. Why is it the most strongest hydrogen bond? It is the most strongest hydrogen bond because it is the most reactive. It is the most reactive halogens. And like I said, the reactivity of halogens decreases down the group. The reactivity of halogens decreases down the group. So please take note of your periodic table, and also take note of your periodic trend. Let's move on to the next question. A gas that forms a black precipitate, a gas that forms a black PPT with lead 2 ethanoate. A gas that forms a black PPT with lead 2 ethanoate is. So let me write it down. Please, I hope you have taken note of this. The most reactive halogen is the fluorine, and it is the most strongest hydrogen bond. Hydrogen fluoride is the most strongest hydrogen bond, and water molecule is the most common hydrogen bond. It is not needed here because there's no question right now that is relating to this, but it is because of this the reactivity of the halogens that I am bringing this particular concept into play. So let's move on to the next question here. Let's move on to the next question here, please. The next question is, a gas, let me write it. A gas that forms a black PPT. PPT is precipitate. A gas that forms a black precipitate with lead 2 ethanoate, with lead 2 ethanoate. With lead 2 ethanoate is, which of these gas forms a black precipitate? You already know what's a precipitate, right? So which of these gas forms a black precipitate with lead 2 ethanoate? A, we have chlorine. B, we have our ammonia. C, we have our hydrogen. And D, we have our hydrogen sulfide. So what do you think is the answer? Which of these gas forms a black precipitate with lead 2 ethanoate? Please drop it in the comment section. I can't see your comments. Is anyone that is dropping or attempting these questions? Note, these are questions that someone like you entered the exam hall and wrote to. So imagine entering the exam hall, seeing these questions. What do you think is going to be your answer? Just drop it in the comment section. I can't actually see anybody attempting these questions. So I can't see anybody attempting this question. Someone should try. Is anyone trying? Also, the correct answer there is D. Hydrogen sulfide. The correct answer there is hydrogen sulfide. This is because hydrogen sulfide reacts with lead to form black a black precipitate. A black lead sulfate precipitate. A black lead sulfate precipitate. Let me come and explain this to you. I was actually waiting behind the screen to see anyone who is going to drop the answer, but there is no answer from anyone. I just pray. I want to. Okay, let's see. I still have questions here. I believe by now this is 2:05. So I believe people who already entered the exam, or people have started entering the exam for those people that are writing by 2 o'clock. So possibly in the evening, you understand? In the evening, we are going to get questions for biology. That one I might not be able to come and solve it because that time is going to be night. So what I will just do is, if you are in the WhatsApp group, if you have chatted me up to be in the WhatsApp group, I will just add it to the WhatsApp group. I will send the questions to you. It is now left for you to see how you can be able to practice those questions. So let's, oh my god, I wanted to come and explain this, so but let's move on. I wanted to come and explain this, but what I wanted to explain is that hydrogen sulfide react with what? Lead to form what? A black what? Lead sulfide what? Precipitate. There's nothing there. Let's move on to the next question. Where is this question again? Alright, the next question is the common ore of iron. The common ore of what? Iron. The common ore of iron is A. Bauxite, B. Galena, C. Cassiterite. Alright, so what is this people saying now? So okay, the question is, which of this word, the common ore of what? Iron. The common ore of what? Iron is A. Bauxite, B. Galena, C. Cassiterite, and D. what? Magnetite. So what do you think is going to be the answer? What is the ore of what? Iron. What is what? Iron what? Ore. First of all, the first question is what? What is what? Ore. Know that ore is what? A natural resources. It's a natural resource which is of what? Great what? Economic what? Importance. That is what a ore is all about. So the common ore of iron is what? Common ore of iron. Use your head in this kind of questions. Even though you don't know the answer, use our head. The correct answer there, the common ore of iron is a what? Magnetite. I dropped a video on ores. I've dropped a video on what? Metals and their what? Ores. So the common ore of iron is what? The magnetite, which is what? D. The common ore of what? Let me put it here. Of iron is a what? Magnetite. This is what? Iron. Common ore of iron is a what? Magnetite. Then galena is a lead ore. Where is it? Galena. This is what? Lead what? Ore. Galena is what? A lead ore. I've dropped a video already on this, on metals and the compounds, metals and the ores. So just check this out. Galena is a what? Lead ore. Then this bauxite is an aluminium ore. This bauxite is what? An aluminium ore. Then this cassiterite is what? A tin ore. Please, after this live stream, just make sure you go through my videos. I've made videos on all these concepts that I am explaining. The common ore of iron is the what? Magnetite. Then for the ore of iron, of aluminium, is known as the what? Bauxite. The ore of lead is known as the what? Galena. The ore of tin is known as what? The cassiterite. What I simply mean by ore is what? The natural resources whereby this iron, tin, the lead, and the aluminium is being what? Extracted what? From. What is that what? Natural resources where we can able to get the what? The aluminium. It is being extracted from in natural resources which is of great economic importance, which is the what? Bauxite. So let me see. There are questions here. We have questions here. If you need this question, just chat me up on WhatsApp. I will answer the next. I'll answer the next 3 questions here, and that will be the end of this live stream. Answer the next 3 questions here, and that will be the end of this live stream. Let me check whether they have dropped questions for biology. And if you need, you get to find out this is not all the questions that I am doing right now in this live stream. So if you need the complete questions, please make sure you chat me up on WhatsApp on 07062462746. So let's answer this last question. This last question is on organic what? Chemistry. This last question is on organic chemistry. So let's do something right now. You see? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. You can see here. That is what we are having on the board. This is the first one though. This is the first structure. You have another structure here. Hope you can see what I am doing on the board. Check those structures on the board. Check those structures on the board. Check those structures. Now the question is this. A property common to the structure above is that, what is common to both of the structures above? Check it. A is that the structural, okay, a property common to the structure above. You are going. All right, now take care. A property common to the structure above is that they have the same structural and molecular formula. This structure here, do they have the same structural and molecular formula? B, structural formula. They have the same structural formula but different molecular formula. Do they have the same structural formula but different molecular formula? Check it out. C, they have the same number of carbon but different molecular mass. They have the same number of carbon. Look at it too, but different molecular mass. D, molecular formula but different. They have the same molecular formula but different structural formula. What do you think is going to be the answer? Check it, check it, check it. What do you think is going to be the answer? Check it now. Okay, the answer there is what? B. Although I didn't write the option. You understand? So the common that the property that is common to this structure is that they have different molecular formula, which is what? This is what? B, right? Yes, B. The B says they have the same structural formula but different molecular formula. I can't be able to write it because it's too plenty. I will have written this. So take note of this structure and try to find out the property that is common to both of them. Just find out the property that is common to the both of them. The next question, let's move ahead. The type of salt that ionizes to produce three different types of salt in solution is. The type of salt that ionizes to produce three different types of salt. So please take note of this structure and try to see how you can get it. They have the same, which I say is B. I says they have the same structural formula but different molecular formula. So take note of this structure. Then I want to move on to the next one because we're almost coming to the end of this live streaming. It says the type of salt that ionizes to produce three different ions in solution. Is A, acidic, B, complex, C, double, and D, basic. So which type of salt ionizes to produce three different ions in solution? Which type of salt ionizes to produce three different ions in solution? A, acidic, B, complex, C, double, and D, basic. The answer is right there in the board. Looking at you, right there on the board. What do you think is going to be the answer? Type of salt that ionizes to produce three different ions. In solution. The answer is not acidic salt. neither is the answer a double salt, neither the answer is what a basic what salt. From types of what salt, I've made a video on what is what. I've made a video on acid, base, and salt. From that video, I talked about what is an acid. I talked about what is a base, the classification of what acid, the base. I talked about the base. I also talked about what the salts. I also gave you the different types of what salt and what example talking about what the acidic salt, the basic salt, the double what salts, the complex what salt, and the remaining one. I think there are 5 types of what salt. So you can check out that video and you'll be able to what get it. But this question that says the type of salt that ionizes to produce 3 different ions in solution is, the answer is what B. The answer is what B. Only complex salt ionizes to produce what 3 different types of what salt in what solution. Ionizes to produce what 3 different types of what salt in what solution. So the correct answer there is what the complex what salt. If you need these questions, I don't know why I'm mentioning past question though, because it's not past question yet, because it's still fresh. So no need to say past question. But if you need these questions that was answered, the 2025 JAMB Chemistry questions day 1, if you need it, my WhatsApp number is on the board. Chat me up on WhatsApp and you will get this. We have for chemistry, we have for physics, we have for English, and in the meantime, we are still waiting for biology to drop. Then for those of you that are writing mathematics, I don't know whether my group team or my members in the team in the group are going to drop it. So we are waiting for those of you that are answering mathematics, because someone just asked for mathematics when we're still live streaming. So I don't know. I've not gone online yet. I've not gone on WhatsApp. So when I go on WhatsApp, I will check whether we have for mathematics, and if it's available, when you chat me up on WhatsApp, I will just add you to the group and you will be able to get these 2025 JAMB Chemistry day 1 word questions. The next question there is, in this reaction above, what is the word oxidizing word agent? In this reaction word above, what is the word oxidizing word agent? So let's be fast. We don't have much time again left for us. We don't have much time again left for us. In this reaction, hydrogen sulfide plus bromine gas, the next one, plus what sulfur with gas. In this reaction above, the oxidizing agent is A, hydrogen sulfide gas, B, sulfur gas, C, bromine, and D, bromate. Please try and attempt these questions, because this is the same thing someone wrote in the exam hall. So imagine you are the one that just entered the exam hall and this question is being presented to you. Someone just wrote this exam this morning. People wrote this exam this morning. You understand? So just try and attempt these questions. Jot them down. So in this reaction above, what is the word hydrogen word? The word oxidizing word agent. Hydrogen sulfide plus what bromine what gas. You know what bromate plus what the sulfur what gas. So which of these is the word oxidizing word agent? A, hydrogen sulfide, B, sulfur gas, C, bromine, and D, what bromate. So what do you think is the answer? First of all, you have to know what is what the question. What we are asking here is what oxidation. So you have to bring in the concept of what oxidation and what reduction. What is what oxidation and what is what reduction? What is oxidation and what is what reduction? What is oxidation and what is what reduction? That is what you are supposed to understand in this question. What is oxidation and what reduction? What is what oxidation and what reduction? When you check this, look at. What do you think is the answer? The answer is what? C, which is what? Bromine. Because the bromine there, when you look at the answer is what? See which is what the bromine. From what I have done, if you know what is what oxidation and what reduction, you know that the answer is what bromine, because the bromine there now got what an electron. The bromine here has gained what an electron. Look at what just happened there now. The bromine here has gained what and what electron. So when it gain an electron, it becomes what reduced. When it gain an electron, it becomes what reduced. So the bromine gas there acts as the what oxidizing what agent. The bromine gas acts as the what oxidizing what agent. So it is very important you get notes of this. Please learn your what oxidation and what reduction. Learn your electrochemical what series. Study your electrochemical what series. It is from this we get understanding of the equation on the board. It is very, very important. Please study. If you are yet to write your JAMB, JAMB loves you, and it's a God-given opportunity for you to prepare. It's a given opportunity for you to what? Prepare. So let's go on to the next question. Yes, I'm saying the next question because I'm feeling tired. My leg is paining me. I'm feeling tired, but the more I solve, the more I still want to solve more. But in case I don't finish the question and you need the JAMB 2025 chemistry day 1 questions, my WhatsApp number is on the board. Feel free to chat me up on what WhatsApp. The next two questions I will answer. The next 2 questions I will answer, or the next 3 questions I will answer. I will call it what? A wrap. The next 2 to 3 questions I will answer, and I will call it what? A wrap. Pending when the next subject like biology is going to what? Drop. So let's go. It says the process whereby a gaseous, are you with your phone there? No. A process whereby a gaseous body, loses some of its kinetic energy. To a colder body is referred to as A. Condensation. A. Condensation. B. Melting. C. Evaporation. And D. Freezing. The marker is about to finish. Yeah. There's feel this one. The question there is the process whereby a gaseous body loses some of its kinetic energy to a colder body is referred to as A. When a gaseous body lost some of its energy. You understand? When a gaseous body loses what? Some of its kinetic energy to what? A colder body. Some of the kinetic energy to a colder body. Such a process refers to as what? Such a process refers to as what? Gas. You know that gas have a kinetic energy. They are always what? Moving. Gases are always what? Moving in what? Disorderly what? Manner. In a Brownian what? Movement. So gases are always what? Moving. But the process whereby a gaseous body will now lose some of its kinetic energy to a cool body. To a what? A cool body is first as what? Freezing. It is first as what? Freezing. The process whereby a gaseous body loses what? Some of its kinetic energy to a colder body is first as what? Freezing. Now what is what? Freezing. Freezing simply involves the loss of what? Kinetic what? Energy. Freezing simply means what? The loss of what? Kinetic what? Energy. Note, gaseous particles are always what? In a what? Movement. In a what? Disorderly what? Manner. Right? This one move here, colliding with each one another, right? Now freezing is when what? Freezing involves the loss of what? Kinetic what? Energy. Freezing involves the loss of what? Kinetic what? Energy. when the movement of a particle becomes more what orderly, when the movement is a use of what kinetic what energy, when the movement of a particle, when the movement of a particle becomes what orderly, so when it comes to freezing what controls the what movement of what particles, and it makes their movement becomes what orderly. So the process whereby a gaseous body will lose some of the kinetic energy to a colder body is what freezing. Your freezers will make it, instead of what becoming what becoming what disorderly or non-orderly, freezing will make the movement becomes what orderly. This is JAMB Chemistry question, the one as far as 2025 is what concerned. Please take note of this. These are the questions some of your friends who have written the exams today answered as far as JAMB is concerned. Please, if you are coming across my YouTube channel for the first time, I know some of you are coming across my YouTube channel for the first time. My name is Basi Ejoba. I'm a 400 level student in the University of Calabar studying medical laboratory science, and this is what I love doing. I love helping students level up their academic game. I also share full tips on my channel focusing on personal development. I also share admission stuffs, admission processes, cutoff mark, updates, and the what rest. So if you love content like this, please don't forget to hit on the red subscribe button so I can continue getting updates in terms of job videos like this, and so that you can what help me what grow. And what we are doing today is 2025 JAMB Chemistry questions for day 1, Thursday, the 24th day in the month of April 2025. Those people that wrote their JAMB from 7 a.m. and up to this time 2 o'clock, that's so it is the second or the third batch have entered. So this is the questions that have been dropped. Right now we have questions for chemistry, we have questions for physics, and we have questions for what use of what English. For the use of English, there are a lot of questions on what Lekki Headmaster. There are questions on what lessons and what structures. There are questions on what summaries. Although I am not taking what English, but if you need these what today what questions that have been dropped, please feel free to chat me up on WhatsApp on 070-6246-2746, and you will get access to these past questions and what to these what past questions and answer. Yes, I'll call it past question and answer because it has already been written. Understand? But the possibility of you getting access or getting to answer this question again is what 50. Are you done with it? Yes. The possibility of you getting access to answer this question is what 50. That is why I encourage all of you to pay what keen attention to this class, because you don't know whether tomorrow you might enter the exam or on Saturday you enter the exam and you get to see exact same questions like people already what wrote. So it is important that you take note of what these what words or these stuffs that are what I'm saying. So the next question here says, which of the quantum numbers determine the energy sub-level in an orbital? Which of the quantum numbers determine the energy sub-level in an orbital? So let me write. So which of the following, which of the quantum number determines the energy sub-level in an orbital. We have A, magnetic. We have B, principal. We have C, azimuthal, and we have D, the spin. So the question is, which of the quantum numbers determine the energy sub-level in... Alright, sorry, the delay you'll be getting is from my network. Which of the following quantum numbers determines the energy sub-level in an orbital? A, magnetic quantum number. B, the principal quantum number. C, the azimuthal quantum number. And D, the spin quantum numbers. First of all, you have to understand what is our various quantum numbers. The correct answer D is, which of the quantum numbers determine the energy sublevel in orbital? The correct answer there is the what? The principal what? Quantum what? Number. So the principal quantum number is what? Option what? B. And option B is the principal quantum number, which is the principal quantum, which is what represented as what? N. The principal quantum number represented as what? N. The principal quantum numbers determines the energy level and size of what? An orbital. The principal quantum number determines the principal quantum number determines the energy level and size of an orbital. Or you can say determine the size of what? Orbitals. Please take note of that. The principal quantum number determines the energy level and size of an orbital. So the question, which of the quantum number determines the energy sublevel in an orbital? A, magnetic, B, principal, C, azimuthal, and D, what? The spin. The correct answer there is what? The principal what? Quantum what? Number. The principal quantum number, just like I said, determines the energy level and size of what? An orbital. If you need these past questions and answer, because I'm moving on, let me see, I'm moving on to my last three questions. I'm moving on to my last three questions as far as this is concerned. But if you need the full question and answer for chemistry, for physics, and for English language, although I don't have for biology, but I believe I'm going to get it in the evening, please feel free to chat me up on WhatsApp on 070, which is down on the screen, 62462746. So let me answer the question, the next question. The separation technique that is based, let me answer this question now. The separation technique that is based on the principle of solubility of a solid. The separation technique that is based on the principle of solubility, of a solid, in two miscible liquids, emphasis on the word miscible, into what? Miscible liquid, miscible liquid is the liquid is A, fractional distillation, B, distillation, C, precipitation, and D, filtration. What do you think is going to be the answer? The separation technique that is based on the principle of solubility of a solid in two miscible liquid is A, the fractional distillation, B, distillation, C, precipitation, and D, filtration. The answer is right there on the board. So who is going to try it? Who is going to drop the answer in the comment section? The answer is already there. Now let me show you something. You see that miscible that I underline on the board, right? That is where the answer is. That miscible. This miscible liquid. This is the answer. If you know, you know. This miscible liquid. That is what the answer. The separation technique of what? The separation technique that is based, you understand, of what miscible liquid is what? Is the fractional distillation. Please take note. Fractional distillation. I have dropped a video. You cannot say it's filtration. Cannot say it's filtration. Neither can you say it's precipitation. I've dropped countless videos as far as, in fact, if you check my questions, chemistry teaching that I've always done. In fact, that almost all my videos, I try to see how I'll be able to explain what separation one technique. Even yesterday when I did the last live stream, as far as chemistry is concerned, before I started, before today when I got this update, I already told you the different types of what separation what technique. The answer is what fractional what distillation, and this is based on their what boiling what point. This is based on our boiling what point, because this liquid are what mixable. This liquid can what combine what together, they can mix together, and when they can mix together, that you will not be able to what identify which is which. The only way we can separate them is by using what fractional distillation, and this can be done. This fractional distillation is gotten based on the what boiling what point. It is important that you take note of this what key point. I've been dropping it in my videos as far as JAMB Chemistry is concerned. For almost every video I make sure I talked about separation what technique, because I know how important it what is. I also gave example when it comes to chromatography. Yesterday I talked about chromatography, so please take note. Yes, I talked about the chromatography. Essentially, the moment it involves chromatography, let me just give you this key point. The moment it involves chromatography, when there's separation involving chromatography, please look for pigment, dyes, colors, ink, speed, rate of migration. This is when it comes to what a separation technique known as what chromatography. Then we also have another one when it comes to what their density. When it comes to their density, when separation technique is based on their density, that is the one we know as what the centrifugation, the spinning at what it comes at a specific what speed. You understand? Like we want to separate what blood in order to get the plasma and the what serum. Please, it is important that you take note of what this. I'll be making countless videos on what this. That is why you see me you see the way I'm answering these questions. I am not too much relying on explanations. You get to find that the way I'm answering this question, I don't go deep on explanation, because these are stuffs that I have already explained over time. So me coming to it again, it will be like if I am continuously repeating one thing without going on to the next. So the question here, the separation technique that is based on the principle of solubility of a solid into mixable liquid is what the fractional what distillation, and this can be gotten based on their what boiling what point. Let's move on to the next question here. This is JAMB Chemistry 2025 as far as chemistry is concerned, as far as JAMB is concerned, in the whole of Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, from 7:30 to this very hour. This is the what JAMB question that has what written. This is JAMB question though. They just drop it to me on WhatsApp. We have a group where we have JAMB past questions. I have for chemistry, I have for physics, and I have for English language. For English language, you see a lot of questions on Lekki Headmaster. A lot of questions there. So I'm waiting for my English tutors to come on. Some of them know we are students, so they are in school. We are waiting for them to come online. When they come online, they will see how they can break down Lekki Headmaster and possibly drop the answers in the group chat. If you want to get access to this group chat, chat me up on WhatsApp 07062462746. Let's move on to the next question that is hydrogen bond. Hydrogen what? Bond. Hydrogen bond. Okay, that is active.
Yes.
Hydrogen bond can be found in. Look at, there's one thing I love about my spirit. There's one thing I love about my spirit. And that thing I love about my spirit is the ability to predict questions. That is something I always use it to get edge over other people. I always use it to get edge over other people, because I study pattern. I spend time to study pattern. Remember that time that we were answering a particular question, and that question was not even related to, that question was not even related to hydrogen bond. Remember, that question was not even related to a hydrogen bond. But I said, let me just talk about what hydrogen bond. I didn't check it, and before you know it, have you seen a question on hydrogen bond? That just, remember when I talked about the hydrogen fluoride as the most strongest what hydrogen was bond. The question was not related to hydrogen fluoride or hydrogen, but now you can see a question in the same year. This particular jam, you understand? I got the word. My spirit just told me talk about it. So that is just how it is. When you study past questions, I tell you, when you study past questions, there is no how you cannot predict questions. when you study past questions, there is no how you cannot predict what questions. That is what just happened to me. I've been studying my past questions. I've studied past questions from 2015 to 2024. That is what I've done. I've studied past questions from 2015 to 2024. And I'm not just studying it as, I'm not a JAMBite. I've done my JAMB since 2020. I'm not studying it as a JAMBite, but I'm studying the past questions with understanding. I'm studying the past question to understand the pattern and to see the technicality, to know why they set their questions that way. That is why you will always see that someone that has passed a particular level will always get understanding than others in the same level. Because when I study the past question, I study the past question with what? Understanding. So now the question is, hydrogen bond can be found in A, hydrogen sulfide, B, hydrogen bromide, C, hydrogen fluoride, and D, hydrogen chloride. Fluoride. This one is not even something for we to start panicking. The answer is what? Already what? There. The answer is what? Hydrogen what? Fluoride. The answer is what? Hydrogen what? Fluoride. So when it comes to hydrogen bond, this is what the correct answer. When it comes to what? Hydrogen what? Bond. Hydrogen bond fluoride is the strongest hydrogen bond. Strongest hydrogen bond. The hydrogen fluoride is the what? Strongest what? Hydrogen bond. And water that is H2O is the what? Most popular what? Hydrogen what? Bond. So it's the most popular hydrogen what? Bond. So it's important that you take note of this what point. It is important. That's why we always advise for people to what? Study their what? Past questions and what? Answer. Studying your past questions and answer will reveal to you how you can even predict what possible what questions. Just like I did, there was nothing that was mandating me to talk about the hydrogen bond, but I did, and right now you can see us answering the question on what? Hydrogen what? Bond. So let's answer the last question on far as this live stream is concerned, pending when I'm going to get questions for what? Biology. Pending when I'm going to get question for what? Biology. I'm here to get question for biology. But if you need question for physics is available. Chat me on WhatsApp. Question for English language is available. And question for chemistry is also what? Available. The last question is, aluminium is usually used as electric cables due to its aluminium. Why do we use aluminium as what? Electric what? Cable. Aluminium is usually used as electrical what? Cable. As electrical cables due to its A, good conductivity, B, silvery white appearance, Is that the reason aluminum is used as an electrical cable? C, malleability, and D, high melting point. So what do you think is going to be the answer? Aluminum is used as electrical cable due to its A, good conductivity, B, silvery white appearance, C, malleability, and D, what? High what? Melting what? Point. What do you think is going to be the answer? No one is dropping answer in the comment section. I'm not getting answer in the comment section. So drop me the answer. But if there's no answer, without wasting much time, aluminum is usually used as electrical cable due to its what? Good what? Conductivity. Because aluminum is what? A metal. Aluminum is what? A metal gotten from its ore known as what? Bauxite. Aluminium or is known as what bauxite. So aluminium is what a good what conductor, and it's because of what its good conductivity. That is why it is used as what electrical what cable. So this is just it for 2025 JAMB Chemistry questions day 1. If you need access to these questions, why am I saying past questions now? If you need access to these updated past questions, yes, updated past questions, that's what I should use. If you need access to it for the 2025 JAMB day 1, please chat me up on WhatsApp on 07062462746, and you will get access to this word password questions. I have past questions right now for chemistry, I have questions for what physics, and I have questions for what English or language. If you are yet to read your Lekki headmaster, please I will advise you to read your Lekki what headmaster. There are a lot of questions there I can testify, although I felt reluctant to read Lekki headmaster because of one, the reviews I got online that it is too much and it is stuff like that. You understand? So they say too much of name and events and whatsoever. I felt reluctant to read it. But make sure you read your Lekki master. Make sure you focus on your summaries. Make sure you also know your what register, your comprehension and whatsoever lessons and structures. There's for English language. So this is just it. This is the question for JAMB Chemistry World 2025 World Day 1. Possibly by tomorrow, God's grace, we're also going to get questions, and we are going to get questions. I will come here, make a live stream and answer them, and that is how we will grow together. Until I see you in my next video, always remember that you're wonderful, always remember that you're unique, always remember that you're unique, and always remember that exam of you are writing tomorrow. Please, I want to let you know that remove every form of panic in yourself, remove every form of what fear, believe in yourself. You have come too far for you to what give up. You have come too far for you to what allow what fear take over you. Remove comparison and believe in the process. Trust in God and know that smashing JAMB UTME is very, very what achievable. Drop it in the comment section your dream JAMB score, and if you have done your JAMB reprinting, drop it in the comment section when you are writing. May God be with you, and may God give you the divine will to get your heart desire in Jesus' name. Thank you so much. I really love you.